Welcome back to The Jump. Marcus Morris has been fined a hefty 35 large, what the league called, quote, recklessly striking Luka Doncic above the shoulders. That was enforced in Game 6 of the Clippers-Mavericks series. Brian, we've also seen the Clippers get into it with Damian Lillard in the bubble. Are they kind of becoming the villains of Orlando? And maybe that's not such a bad thing.
Well, first, let me say that we have to remember the Draymond Green rule, which is flagrant foul points. So now Marcus Morris has 2 and 1 more flagrant 2 or 2 more flagrant 1s suspension. So keep an eye on that because we just got through the first round.
Yep.
Look, Patrick Beverley and Marcus Morris have a reputation. I don't know if it's fair to say it's the Clippers' reputation because I don't think that Kawhi has that. I don't think that Doc Rivers has that. But you know, you are who you hang around with, and Paul George got roped in to that Damian Lillard kerfluffle, and so, like it or not, even though I don't think it's a badge the Clippers necessarily want to tote around, they're going in that direction, and it doesn't help when you start to rack up flagrant fouls.
Man, I'm sorry, I lost all that once you said kerfluffle.
I know,
love that word.
A fracas.
But what is interesting about this is maybe, you know, individually, Marcus Morris Sr. and Patrick Beverley can be looked to as villains, but you don't really cast people as villains until they actually beat the heroes, right? Like, you become villains after you win, or else you won't be taken seriously. So I think the Clippers, they're a team that has never been to the NBA Finals. They have not even been to the conference finals. So until they actually do that, I will not cast them as villains because they still need to prove that they can be their own heroes. They can save themselves. But yeah, this is a part of the petty, right? And sometimes I think when you're a team that sort of has struggled more than people thought, especially with the Mavs series, you're a team that sort of needs to build your own energy, especially in a bubble environment where there are no fans, there's nobody booing. So you boo and we're literally seeing people boo from this, from the sides, and it is bringing energy and it is bringing distraction. But I wonder where the good outweighs the bad for the team when it comes to their success.
And also, the lens we view this with shifts from year to year, right? So when the Clippers and some of these same players that we're talking about, not all of them, but a few of them, were the scrappy underdog team that was just edging into the playoffs and then really gave so much trouble to the Golden State Warriors in that first round series. It was with some of these tactics, Patrick Beverley, what he was doing to Kevin Durant and all of that, and everyone thought it was scrappy and somewhat charming. And then now that they have the big boys on the block, they're a little bit, one of the 2 bullies of the Western Conference. When they're doing it to teams like Portland or to Dallas, it's not viewed through the same lens. I would say, however, that teams historically who have a little bit of that spice and junkyard dog in them, they do okay. I mean, talk about the Pistons, right? The bad boys and what they represented in the moment. There were a lot of other players and teams that could have given you chapter and verse about why they were bad for basketball. But how do we remember them, right? Sinead, when you think about the bad boys, you think of them fondly, right?
No, not at all, because Coach Lambier is coaching for the Vegas Aces, and every time we play against the Vegas Aces, they always try to come at your girl. It's always a physical match. And so, yeah, that's one thing you can't shake off. I learned that by watching The Last Dance. I'm like, dang, Bill. First of all, everyone was joking that he was actually running the floors, because apparently that's different than what they see with Bill now. But yeah, you spoke right into my weaknesses here, because going up against the Vegas Aces, this is consistent. But yeah, maybe this is the identity, though, that the Clippers want to have. They want to be the bad boys. They want to be able to play